Jeep has been missing out on the hottest segment in the automotive industry since the 2023 model year, but the Cherokee that filled those compact crossover shoes back then is back to fill them again for 2026, but those shoes have gotten a little bit bigger and a little bit more expensive.
You heard that right, we actually already have pricing. Normally at the end of a video like this, I'd tell you that we'd have those details closer to the vehicle's on sale date. But today, I get to lead with that information. The 2026 Cherokee will be available in 4 trim levels: Cherokee, Laredo, Limited, and Overland. The base model starts at $36,995, including destination. The Laredo at $39,995, the Limited at $42,495, and the Overland topping things off at $45,995. Yep, they gave us the full spread this early, and frankly, I'm here for it.
Now, for as far as what you get with the new Cherokee, obviously an all-new exterior design that is more modern and arguably more masculine than the car it replaces. I'm already liking what I see here a lot because this looks more like a proper Jeep to me, but I've already seen a few running around Detroit without camouflage on, and I could see how in a few years they might start to blend in with the crowd a little bit, but let me know what you think of the exterior design down in the comments below.
The 2026 Cherokee has grown in every exterior dimension, yielding a 30% increase in interior cargo space over the previous generation. You'll find 33.6 cubic feet behind the second row, and 68.3 cubic feet with those seats folded. Those are welcome improvements over the respective 25.8 and 54.7 figures of the 2023 model, but that seats down figure still comes up short of competitors like the Hyundai Tucson and Kia Sportage.
Apologies up front for the bad lighting. I am on a stage right now with lights pointing at me in all different directions, but regardless, I can already tell sitting in this cabin that this is one of the nicer, more premium feeling interiors in this segment. It'll definitely give the new Volkswagen Tiguan a run for its money, and it blows the pre-production RAV4 we saw earlier this year out of the water. I mean, that thing felt way cheaper than this on the inside. Yeah, there are hard plastics right here where you typically expect them to be lower down in the door panels, but up here on the dashboard, I'm loving the sort of like faux leather material we have here. It is hard. It's not like a squishy leatherette or anything like that, but we do have some real, what appears to be real stitching up here. My only concern is the fact that we only get 2 interior color choices, black or this white on the upper trims. So if you like a brown or anything sportier like a red, you are out of luck, at least for now. Maybe the upcoming more, off-road oriented models will have other options, but for now, yeah, it is just white or black. Switching over to a black interior on a lower trim level, let's talk about front seat comfort real quick. At 5'9", I have plenty of space up here, plenty of leg room, and actually even with the panoramic moonroof, I still have some headroom left, about 3 inches between my head and the headliner, so all good there. The seats themselves are very plush, like surprisingly cushy, if you will, which I like a lot. I actually really find them quite comfortable, and the lumbar support is not too intrusive. I can put it back into a position that does not bother me. I really like the steering wheel. The shape of this thing is almost like a stop sign. It has a really thick grip to it, a really nice leather wrap. It's very smooth, very soft. I like that a lot. And visibility-wise, the one thing I will point out is the size of these A-pillars, especially looking at the right side. It's pretty thick over there, so we'll have to see what it's like out on the road. But for now, it is what it is here in the studio. As I try to fight the shifts in lighting in the studio here, let's talk about the back seat. Now, Jeep says there is 1 extra inch of legroom here in the back seat compared to the last generation. And with my seat up front where I was, comfortably seated, I actually have 5 inches of legroom or knee room between my knees in the back seat. And there's a nice curve here to allow longer legs or knees to push up against it if needed. And under the front seat, there is a lot of room for feet. So if you have boots on, you want to stuff them under here and recline a little bit more, you can do so. You can also recline just a tad with the seat back. It's not exactly the most wide range of motion I've ever seen, but at least you can go back a little bit. But the big surprise for me is the middle seat. It is actually not the most brutal place to spend time. Yes, it is, more narrow. The cushions aren't as soft as these seats, but they're not quite as bad as pretty much everything else I've sat in with a middle seat like this. So especially considering we have a hump that's not too big. It's almost like an EV back here. This is riding on the Stella large platform, which does accommodate electric vehicle platforms or powertrains, which means it is prepared to have a very, very flat floor, and this one still retains it even though we have a hybrid system. So I could put my feet there, my knees here, and be pretty comfortable for a long haul if I wanted to. Also in front of this seat, we have 2 air vents, 2 USB-C ports, and a household-style jack for charging large electronics.
In a surprising but smart move, Jeep has decided to launch the new Cherokee with a standard hybrid powertrain. This hybrid pairs an existing 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that has been doing the rounds in Europe for years with all new hybrid components, including 2 electric motors, a battery, and other electrical bits. None of that has been used on any prior Stellantis model, so we look forward to seeing how it all comes together when we get behind the wheel later this year. Oh, and Jeep says this powertrain will be able to go around 500 miles between gas fill-ups. No, this is not a plug-in hybrid, so no plugging or charging required. Power-wise, this setup comes relatively close to the output figures of the only other hybrid-only compact crossover in the US, the 2026 Toyota RAV4. The Cherokee's hybrid will put out 210 horsepower and 230 pound-feet of torque to standard all-wheel drive. The new RAV4 will offer both front and all-wheel drive, with the latter putting out 236 horsepower. Because this is a Jeep, off-roading is likely on your mind, and though we don't have a Trailhawk trim available at launch, all Cherokees will come with Jeep's Active Drive 1 4x4 system with standard rear axle disconnect. This setup is more in line with Hyundai and Kia's all-wheel drive hybrids than Honda or Toyota's, which never physically connect the front and rear axles thanks to electric motors that power the rear independently. On board, you'll also find Jeep's Select Terrain Traction Management System with 4 drive modes on every trim level: Auto, Sport, Snow, and Sand/Mud. They claim the Cherokee boasts best-in-class approach and departure angles of 19.6 and 29.4 degrees respectively, as well as 8 inches of ground clearance.
So I already talked about pricing, but what does the Cherokee come standard with? Well, quite a lot actually. You get that same dashboard we just saw on the interior on every trim. You also get their Active Drive Assist semi-autonomous highway assistant. That is not a hands-free system in this iteration. It is just a very advanced adaptive cruise control / lane keeping assist combo. You also get rain sensing wipers, automatic front emergency braking with cyclist and pedestrian detection, and rear park assist, plus of course the 500-mile range hybrid powertrain.
Upper trims will allow you to add things like a panoramic moonroof, a 360-degree surround view camera system, heated rear seats, ventilated front seats, and built-in Amazon Alexa integration.
So can Jeep pump out a winner with a design like this and the kind of powertrain that customers are salivating over right now? You'll just have to subscribe to the Kelley Blue Book YouTube channel so you can find out just as soon as we do when we drive it later this year.